folks. Well, it seems as though we're getting really close to ending the whole series. This is actually our last journey, our last destination on our grand, long, 3.5-week march through the Midwest. I'm kind of exhausted after these 3 weeks, so it's a nice time to just relax after, start uploading these videos. But we're gonna go out with a bang. This is the second largest city in terms of population in Pennsylvania. I don't think we're in the Midwest anymore. We're sort of going back to the Northeast. Some may consider where we are now to be more so Midwestern in culture than the rest of this state. Welcome to Pittsburgh. At the beginning of this grand long trip, we arrived in Erie, Pennsylvania, and later Presque Isle State Park. And we were in Western Pennsylvania for the first time. I mean, really Western Pennsylvania. We were in Altoona, but that's sort of the center of the state. But now, we are in another part of Western Pennsylvania, this time towards the south of the state. This is a grand old city with lots of history, lots of culture, and it's distinct in that it's almost its own region of the country. So much so that you can almost sometimes find people with the so-called Pittsburghese accent. It's a different accent from the East Coast, but also different from the Midwest. Anyway, I'm sort of going off topic, but overall, Pittsburgh has this amazing culture. Let's get to our first stop, and this is actually quite the beautiful view. So right there is Fort Pitt, or at least part of the complex that it was. And back there stood the first marking, or the first settlement of Pittsburgh. I want you all to keep in mind that the beauty of this city is due to two factors. One, its geographical location, and two, just the size of the development of this city in Pittsburgh. So because we're located basically in the middle of the Allegheny Mountains, part of the greater Appalachian chain system of mountains, and so because we have this hilly terrain, or very mountainous terrain actually, and then these rivers, which I'll explain in a bit, you have a beautiful riverfront view. But that's not all. You have such a big development of this city, due to reasons I'll also explain later, that forms these big buildings on the cliffs of these mountains. I don't know if you would call them cliffs, but yeah, just look at this. Look at this scene you otherwise couldn't really find in the Midwest, where it's all just flat with these mountains and the buildings all around this area. It's just such a panoramic, beautiful, photogenic view. Oh, that is so cool. It's just a little bar or cabana of sorts on the water. I would love nothing more to get myself one of those. The mist is coming from the fountain and it's nice on this hot day. Oh my goodness! I thought that was something else! Shotgun it! So what happened just a minute ago was these friendly people on a boat, they were happy enough to throw me a Truly. I'm not a big fan of alcohol, but I appreciated the gesture. Anyway, back to our program. We are standing here at the point. This is the confluence of two rivers in Pennsylvania, which form the Greater Ohio River. So these rivers are the Allegheny from the north, the Monongahela from the south, and when these two rivers form, they form the Ohio River, a much larger river that eventually will flow into the Mississippi River. So if you think about it, all the way from Pennsylvania, right here, water is flowing from the mountains and everywhere down to the middle of the Midwest, down into the Gulf of Mexico. Amazing what water can do. And because of this strategic location, we should know that with rivers, you can trade. You can transport items and people from one part of the country to another. So this place Basically, the start of the Ohio River got Pittsburgh started. As the age of industry began to happen, these waters were used in Pittsburgh to transport the raw materials from here to, let's say, other parts of the Midwest, but it was also used as an ingredient in their steelmaking industry, and nothing is more iconic in Pittsburgh than steel. Let me not understate that point. Steel was so important to Pittsburgh and its economy, and basically its culture too, because you would have all these people whose jobs were in the steelmaking industry, that it was just in the culture. Everybody in Pittsburgh knew at least someone, if it wasn't themselves, who was involved in the steel industry at one point in time. It was so big that Pittsburgh named its own football team with the stadium right there, the Steelers. Now that we've seen what this place is, or its natural beauty, let's go visit the urban beauty, the downtown area. And believe me, this downtown area is huge. It is the second largest city in Pennsylvania for a reason.
Beginning Sunday, July 11th, through Thursday, July 22nd.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is so big they have their own transportation system. I'm not sure whether it's an underground bus or train or something, but it's definitely existing here in Pittsburgh. I'm not really sure what I walked into. I saw the sign for a welcome visitor center. I went in and it looks more like a shopping mall. I think it's our first time on an escalator, at least on video. I was kicked off the second floor, gotta go down back to the streets. Cultural district of Pittsburgh, it's very trendy and upscale, so that's our signal to leave and go to another place. Once again, I have nothing against these places, but I feel these places they're too boring. My dislike of these trendy upscale places is that they cater to tourists out of the city or a very small minority of people, and so I don't think it's representative of the true culture of a city like Pittsburgh to just highlight that I want to show you what the real culture is of a city. For example, look at those beautiful, colorful buildings from long ago when Pittsburgh's economy was booming. Actually, on the negative side, back then, the city was very, very dirty, unclean, pollution clogging up the skies, trash everywhere. And that's what a blue-collar city looked like back in the day. When all you cared about was making money, profiting for the economy, the city starts to look a little dilapidated with all the dirt, the smog, and the debris all over the place. And so people would come all over the country to Pittsburgh and just be so surprised at how dirty the city was. Luckily for us today, Pittsburgh is a lot cleaner than it was. Now look at the size of that thing. Pittsburgh is also known for its mighty towering skyscrapers. Some built from the heyday of the city, others built more recently, and you can tell the difference in the architecture. Fun fact, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the home of Heinz, that food company that makes all the food products. About to enter the Strip District of Pittsburgh. And in my opinion, this is where the real culture of Pittsburgh lies. Pittsburgh was basically a city of immigrants. People would come all over Europe, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Italy, to work in the steel companies. And because of that, there have been large pockets of populations and communities that have developed here with their little ethnic exclaves. But that remnant of the culture still lies here in the Strip District, and all these little shops are run by different people from different cultures that originally settled Pittsburgh. Yeah, you see, instead of these trendy shops in the cultural district. The real people of Pittsburgh go here. Candy, you say? Count me in. Spend way too many minutes in these candy shops. What can I say? I love candy. Oh no, it's closed. Well, I was hoping to go in to buy some pierogies, but I guess we'll have to do that sometime else. Seriously, it's just amazing to admire these urban canyons. Back here at the point right by the confluence of those two rivers, and we're gonna have a picnic here with the stuff we bought at the candy shop. So first up, I wanted to buy something that was made locally by them at that shop, but there was this long shelf of odd sodas. I wanted to buy one because they have all these exotic flavors as well. They have the usual cola and cream sodas, but I wanted to get something a bit weirder, and that's how I got Ketchup Soda. That's right. We're gonna see how that tastes. It's actually kind of funny now that I think about it. This place is known for being the home of Heinz, as I told y'all. And if this is the Ketchup City, it might as well also be the Ketchup Soda City. Let's try it on a hot day like today. This sure should do the trick. It tastes like ketchup, that's for sure. I think this smells a bit more rancid than the taste. The taste is actually good. It tastes authentic and tasty. It's refreshing. Who would have known ketchup soda is actually not bad? But that's what you sign up for when you deviate from the old cola and cream soda and lemon lime, but to really explore your taste buds with ketchup soda. It's nice. Some Haribo candy. And that's weird, you find Haribo candy all over America, right? Well, certain types of Haribo are exclusive to the country in which Haribo was founded, Germany. See, there's even the German text. Haribo macht Kinder froh und Erwachsene ebenso. Haribo makes children happy, and adults as well. So these are süße Mäuse, which in German means sweet mice. I don't know how mice taste, but these probably are sweeter than the actual mice. But yeah, a type of Haribo candy that you wouldn't normally see in America, but maybe in those select candy shops like the one we saw in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is an amazing city with huge amounts of culture, lots of city pride, and was fundamental to the development of the United States we see it today. Once again, this is a huge city. I could not do everything I wanted to do today just because it's so vast and large, and you can't do everything in one day in a big city like Pittsburgh. Thus, I think in a future trip I ought to visit Pittsburgh for another day to see the parts of the city we didn't really get to see, to experience the parts of Pittsburgh we didn't get to experience. Such as that, you can see in the distance, people are being brought up by an incline. Wouldn't that be so cool if we went on one of those inclines here in Pittsburgh? Maybe another day. And maybe we could have gotten those pierogies. Once again, another day, another adventure. I hope you all enjoyed our 3 to 3.5 week venture through the Midwest. We went to many states we have never seen before, experienced so many different aspects of what it means to travel. Naturally, do not be sad, everyone, that this trip is over. Be happy that a new adventure can begin on the coverage project. We'll be continuing to go to these new locations, new states, new adventures. Isn't that right? Yeah, I usually get no response from birds. But yeah, admiring this beautiful view of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Steel City. I think this is the Monongahela River. So standing right in front of it with my hair being a mess right now. More travels to come. I will see you at the next location. Yeah, these mice sure are good.